Hello and welcome to the No One Asked You podcast. This series, I am once again joined by my wonderful co-host, That Darn Kitty.
Dorkus and I are sharing our experience reading The Way of Kings for the first time. Each episode we will summarize what we've read and discuss the experience along the way.
This is Storming the Archives, The Way of Kings, and today we discuss Chapter 65.
Chapter 65!
The Tower. Chapter 65. The Tower. Dalinar and Sadeas overlook the tower. The Parshendi have surrounded the Gemheart, but have not yet retrieved it. Sadeas invites Dalinar to assault the plateau with him. Dalinar declines. Considering his new relationship with Navani, he does not want to relinquish any more control over his inhibitions. Additionally, he will not use Sadeas's bridges because he would not do what the bridgemen do. The two casually discuss their plans for after the assault. Dalinar has accounted for the possibility of another Parshendi army. He wonders why only one bridge crew is allowed armor. Dalinar orders the men ready. Kaladin and the rest of the decoys run ahead. Despite the distraction and previous success of the new tactic, several bridges have fallen. The soldiers don't make a point of attacking the archers who had fired on the bridge crews, but they're forced away regardless. They retreat, making rude gestures toward Kaladin. Kaladin feels the bridgemen corpses are Dalinar's true bridge across plateaus. Scar took an arrow to the foot. Teft lost a lot of blood during the assault, but tried to hide it. Kaladin burns Teft's wounds. Dalinar grows impatient. Sadeas gains a foothold. Dalinar wades into battle, slaughtering Parshendi. He hears Parshendi music. He feels the thrill. Dalinar wonders where the Parshendi shard-bearers are. Surely they'd use them for a battle of this magnitude. He continues to fight. He orders all companies forward, up the side of the tower. Sadeas's forces stall. Dalinar, reveling in the thrill, continues to fight. As Dalinar is about to kill a Parshendi, he realizes that it is a youth. Dalinar hesitates. The thrill dissipates. Another soldier comes along and kills the Parshendi youth. Dalinar is alarmed by the bloodshed. He thinks of the codes and not asking your men to do something you yourself would not do. He tries to get the thrill back. He tells himself that they killed Gavilar. Then he wonders if unite them includes the Parshendi. He doesn't know if the visions are trustworthy. Adolin arrives in a panic. Another Parshendi army has arrived. Dalinar does not know why he had not been alerted sooner. He finds that Sadeas's army was retreating across the chasm. The bridge crews he had lent Dalinar were gone. Sadeas has abandoned Dalinar. I see them. They are the rocks. They are vengeful spirits, eyes of red. Kakakez, 1173, 8 seconds pre-death, a dark-eyed young woman of 15. Subject was reportedly mentally unstable since childhood.
Yeah, puberty, I don't know.
Yeah, my big takeaway here was the part about what I assume she saw were thunderclasts.
Yeah, they are the rocks and they have eyes of red.
Yep.
Yeah. Scary, scary. What do we do now?
Yeah.
Noting the stability or mental instability of this person, it's interesting. Is it that like certain people are chosen to have these death rattles, or a certain kind of person will have a certain kind of death rattle? That's what I would be doing if I was in the Palladium, the library. If I'm just doing my research. It's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna look for clues. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah. I don't know that I have much to say on this particular one. Beyond that,
Yeah.
I did start listing them all out for when we get to the epigraph stream, though. So,
Yay.
yeah.
So you're doing the research.
Yeah, now I'm doing that
That's
research.
the grunt work of the research. Yeah.
I did note a few unique things that, I'll save specifically for that stream since we're getting pretty darn close to it now. The chapter opens. We've got Dalinar and Sadeas overlooking the battlefield before they have committed their troops. Yeah?
Yep.
They did not beat the Parshendi there, but the Parshendi had not gotten the Gemheart out yet.
Yeah, they were busy beating at it. So it's all... Ooh, the tension reading this was just horrible. It's like, okay.
Very
I
much
know things are
so.
gonna go wrong. When nothing's gonna go wrong? When nothing's gonna go wrong? And how? So I'm looking in every direction, like, oh my goodness. And the more that nothing bad is happening, you're like,
Yeah. Sanderson emphasizes the height of the tower. It really is that big.
mm,
And there is a massive Parshendi army. The Parshendi numbers were as large as anticipated, at least 10,000 of them lining up. So this is a big deal.
mm.
Dalinar is really emphasizing to himself this could be the turning point in the war. And it really does kind of feel like that. I mean, it's the tower. If they can get it, if they can control it.
This is the time. This is the
Yeah,
day. This is the
yeah,
day.
yes. By the way, guys, I played the song for Kitty after our last recording session, and she agreed. It was very much
Yes,
good song.
it delivered. Delivered on all the hype.
Excellent. The thing is, if they do manage to take the tower, they should not give it up. They should like soul cast some extra boundaries and just like keep it if they can
Yeah,
without
yeah,
exposing themselves too much.
yeah. Don't leave it for another assault later on.
Yeah.
The worst part that I got here from this little section was Dalinar and Sadius wouldn't be taken by surprise again. I was like, oh, I highlighted it because I was like, there's gonna be something. And you know what? I really did not think of how it does end up. I don't know why. I guess I was just being like Dalinar.
It just feels like it went so wrong so quickly.
Hmm.
I think is what really surprised
Yeah.
me.
Mm.
I have a comment I want to make, but I'll make it after this next little segment because it's pertinent to the comment I want to make. Sadius invites Dalinar to attack with him, to assault them
Mm.
together, and Dalinar essentially refuses, right? So, my first read through of the chapter, coming right off the end, I thought to myself, oh my god, Sadius has backstabbed Dalinar. He did it intentionally. His plan was to weaken his strongest rival,
Hmm.
and it's because Dalinar insulted him here at this moment. Um,
Hmm.
then I calmed down and remembered that there were actually quite a few lines leading up to the realization that suggested pretty heavily that Sadius was struggling from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I will adjust that to say no, I don't think Sadius did this on purpose. I think he genuinely did not do as well as he expected.
Yeah, I also had the same thing where it was like, okay, so I didn't know that Sadius was going to betray, that was going to be the end, you know. I didn't
Mhm.
think of it that way, but I was wondering, okay, well, he's asked. I did put those two things together that he did say, "Come with me," but hey, like if we're going to be devil's advocate for this idea that he planned it, he knows that Dalinar is not going to has this moral high ground thing that he can't use the bridge crews. He can't directly use them. So that's what's upsetting him or why he's not going to go with Sadius. And so Sadius knows that, and then that's why he that helps his plan unfold the way he wanted it. But I don't
Mhm.
think that holds water. I really do think he did just struggle so much, and it was like, you know what? I've got to retreat. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
It Yeah, that's horrible. That's bad because Dalinar probably wouldn't retreat, or maybe he would go. You know, maybe he would retreat because he cares about his men so much. Who knows?
Well,
But yeah, the way it looked, it seems like the way Dalinar sees it is betrayal.
yeah. But then that leads to the next big question, which will be will Sadius regroup and reassault?
Mm.
It's like he didn't have to take the bridges. He could have left one.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking.
My prediction is that Kaladin will go back for Dalinar's troops. That's my prediction.
Maybe.
But Sadius could have left one. I think that was why I thought that it was a
Mm.
Sadius betrayal, because even the bridge
Yeah.
crews left to
Okay.
Dalinar had left.
Yeah, exactly. Like those were the ones he's lent or whatever. So hello, Dalinar, you're already using them. So the whole moral thing about the Bridgeman is not making sense. I knew when I read that you were going to have comments about it, but at the same time, yeah, that is it. It's like even the bridges. The fact that he notes that the bridges are also gone. Yes, that is to tell us, oh, kind of give us a hint of where Kaladin is and what's happened with Kaladin. But at the same time as well, it's like, well, yeah, they didn't. Sadius doesn't care about the bridge crew, so leaving them wouldn't have been such a huge issue.
Yeah, he really did effectively trap Dalinar and his troops on the plateau. Now, if Sadeas does decide to regroup, it might be motivated by Dalinar's unwillingness to abandon his allies. Maybe he really has gotten through to him, kind of a thing. But
Yeah, that's the codes, right? Never abandon an ally on the
yeah,
field of battle. Yeah.
but we'll see. But anyway, Sadeas asks him to join him in the assault, and a part of me thinks, yeah, that would be your best bet if you want to win beyond certainty. Perhaps
Mm.
Sadeas might not have had as much trouble had they been able to join together. But Dalinar looks at the bridge crew. He sees that only a few of them are wearing armor, not all. And you and I know that them all wearing Parshendi armor would defeat the purpose of the
Mm.
Parshendi armor. But it's interesting to me that Sadeas never actually tells Dalinar, it's great. The ones in the armor take all of the arrows and
Mm-hmm.
the rest survive. Like, that might have actually swayed Dalinar. I don't think it would have, but it would have had a better chance than non explanation.
Yeah, it would make more sense to have an explanation anyway, just to say
Yeah.
what's going on. Like, hey, look what my guys are doing.
Yeah. But Dalinar, who is very afraid of the cracks getting bigger, and like when I read it tinged with Dalinar fear. The cracks, he
Mm-hmm.
couldn't let them get wider. If he was going to be with Navani, he had to prove to himself he could remain firm in the other areas. And he says no.
Mm. So going with Sadius is what? Unleashing his worst fear, his worst tendencies. What is this? The cracks.
It's in Dalinar's mind, Sadeas is asking him to abandon one of the codes. Never
Mm.
force your men to do something you would not.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And he in fact goes on to explain he wouldn't charge the way
Mm.
the bridgemen do.
Yeah, and he's like, but you do charge the Parshendi, so there is, and also just going a little bit back from that line as well. But was that any different from what Dalinar did, asking his men to charge into battle to seize the plateau? Weren't they all part of the same army? That
His men have
does,
armor
yeah, his men have armor and all of that, but
and a
it
choice. The
is,
bridgemen don't.
yeah, that they don't. But the thing is, that is the point that you were making before when you were like, yes, you're still complicit, Dalinar. So these people, you're still in the war anyway. You're not making anybody, you're not saving anybody. Actually, you're putting everybody at risk. So kind
Yeah,
of your hypocrisy about your care about the bridge crews is like it kind of comes to nothing. That was our initial thing of like, okay, Dalinar, this is too far. So he's thinking of that. So yes, I understand the craps, the cracks would be yes. He's just let the code slip or whatever. That makes
yeah,
sense. But yeah, he would never charge the Parshendi carrying bridges and without armor or with that armor in his shard plate. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
yeah. Then we get what I found to be a tremendously juicy
Mm.
interaction. Enjoyable. Not those aren't the right words to express it. The interaction was, we still planning on dining together tonight to discuss strategy? I assume so, unless Elokar has a fit for both of us missing his feast. Sadeas snorted. He's going to have to grow accustomed to it. 6 years of feasting every night is growing tedious. Besides, I doubt he'll feel anything but elation after we win this day and leave the Parshendi down a full third of their soldiers. See you on the battlefield. So, what I loved so much about the exchange here is how self assured
Mhm.
they are, how confident they are that neither of them will die, that it
Yeah.
is going to be a complete success. They aren't even treating this like it is a dangerous encounter.
Yeah, it's I'll see you tonight. Yeah, cool. When we just checking what we're doing later. Are we still doing what we're gonna do later? It's like you do. Whoa, this is still a battle. Yeah, there is no chance. They're acting as if there's absolutely no chance, and that really, in terms of the tension, that dialed it up for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, they really are acting like there is nothing. There's nothing that could go wrong here.
Yeah.
Just and the whole description that he even goes into leave the Parshendi down a full third of their soldiers, like all of that. I'm like, oh, it's going down, and he's really exploiting that as a writer. That things are going to go wrong. He's like, yeah, look
Yeah.
how badly it's going to go. Woo, essentially.
I just love how casual they are in this. The
Mm,
hubris, the chauvinism, the arrogance. It's
mhm.
it's it's great. It's casual, it's great.
Pride comes before the fall.
Hmm. And the two split up and set about what it is they intend to do. Dalinar has made allowances for the possibility of a second Parshendi army, which is good. Learned that lesson.
Hmm.
And he grows excited. He's ready and excited for battle. Adolin's making progress.
Yeah. What really hurt me was in the distance the bridgemen began to die. Like, oh, that's just. I'm like, yeah, I guess we need to go and see that. And that is how their battle strategy has been going all the time. It's just bridgemen begin to die, and then we go and do our assault.
Yeah,
It's a nice bow to tie off the end there, just to remind us, yeah, it's horrible.
yeah,
Bridgeman death is horrible.
yeah. And Dalinar, I'm sorry, your prayer doesn't absolve you.
I think he's going to be confronted with that definitely.
Very much so. Kaladin is running about and doing what he does and the rest of the crew does. But
Hmm.
this is the tower. It is a uniquely deadly assault. So people are dying regardless.
Yeah. What is this gesture?
Right? A few gave Kaladin loathing gazes, making an odd gesture by cupping a hand to the right ear and pointing at him before finally retreating.
Is that like, are you hearing them sing for you, or what?
Ooh, I love that idea.
Because they're singing this death song, like it's the one that's basically, and he's this a symbol, a living banner to destroy. So like it's about him, and it's just like, do you hear that? That's what I feel like. Do you hear that? But yeah, I'm not sure what else it could mean.
Yeah, I don't either. I just equate it to them sticking their middle fingers out at
Yeah,
Kaladin, flipping him off.
because also it's accompanied by a loathing gaze. So
Yeah,
like, what? I don't know. Why would you loathe him? He's helping you out, or is it because he's like, yeah? Again, it's this kind of, you're getting a bit above yourself. So
yeah.
mm.
Now, as Kaladin is running about, he keeps an eye on Sadeas's forces and Dalinar's forces, and we get Kaladin more or less articulating the argument I've made several times now.
Hmm.
Perhaps attacking this way served to protect Dalinar's pristine image. He wouldn't make Bridgeman die, not directly at least. Never mind that he had stood on the backs of the men who had fallen to get Sadeas across. Their corpses were his true bridge. Great line.
Facts.
And
Yeah.
facts.
Hmm. Like, look, we want them to come together. We want them to come to some sort of understanding and whatever. But this is what makes me go, oh yeah, Dalinar will be confronted with this logic.
Yeah,
He I think he's really lying to himself. He's just not. He's smart enough to understand that he is complicit, but
yeah,
he doesn't. He's just uh, what blissfully just leaving it out of his awareness.
yep. Or he's just like it's not even in his orbit of
Hmm.
awareness, in his consciousness at all. They're Sadeas's bridgemen. They are his responsibility. It doesn't even occur.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, yeah, and you kind of also just maybe we got this little bit in this chapter where it was just kind of like, well, we're all going to war. We're all part of the same army, so it's just
It's fine.
yeah, everyone dies. It's part of it. Doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter that the bridgemen die in order to start the whole freaking battle and whatever, and we don't care about them. Doesn't matter. Hmm.
Yep. So then, as people are dying and getting hit, Kaladin realizes 6 runs without any death had to come to an end at some point. Scar gets hit in the foot and reacts accordingly, which is kind of humorous because I'm, outside watching in. But then Teft, stupid, toxic masculinity Teft, got hit, tried to hide the hit, and is now suffering from blood loss.
Mm-hmm. Eyes glassy and everything. Really, really scared. I'm scared.
I'm scared. I do not want him to die. And
Mm.
I don't know if the bridge are in. So here's how it could play out. If the armies are in full retreat, that includes the bridgemen. And if the bridges are retreating too quickly, Taft might not be able to keep up. And he might be too
Yeah.
ornery to place on the bridge. So Kaladin could insist on staying to watch after Taft as long as
Mm.
they can, and in so doing, see an opening to go help Dalinar's soldiers.
Yeah. I'm hoping that that's kind of how it goes. Because yeah, we need a reason for Kaladin to be with Dalinar.
Yeah, if they don't meet up by the end of the book, I'm
Mm.
going to be furious, unironically.
Yeah. But yeah, and Tiff, please survive, Tiff. There's so much we have to do. There's so much we have to learn together. Please.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Kaladin, who can't really stitch the wound, has to cauterize it, and it's going to make wielding a spear difficult for Teft in the future.
Yeah, it's like we just want his life. Okay, Kaladin. I know that this goes through his mind, and he's trying to do the best treatment. But it's like, listen, just keep the man alive.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Do what you need to do. The area should be safe enough. Rock says Sadius is keeping his men in this area. No Parshendi will get through. So you leave
Mm.
off from this point thinking, okay, great,
Hmm.
Sadius is doing all right for the time being.
Cool, and let's go off to the next one. You're like, okay, cool.
Yep.
No Pashin, you will get through.
Mm. And then we switch back to Dalinar. And Dalinar's watching. He's getting eager, perhaps over eager. He is hoping for that opening so he can start the fight. And in fact, Dalinar is so eager as he's watching Sadius gain his footing, we get the line, they didn't get entirely into place before Dalinar started moving. So he jumps the gun a little bit.
Yeah. Is that wouldn't lead to this calamity that actually happens later on? I don't think that's
No.
no, it's not related. I really find it very difficult to keep track of battles and things like this. Um, I
Dalinar's
yeah.
Dalinar's error, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
would be in not paying attention enough
Yeah.
to Sadius's forces. He does note at one point that they are struggling a little bit, and the thrill fueled brain is like, well, if Sadius can't do it, I will. And then he charges even further. And I don't know that even that would be considered an error, because if Dalinar's hitting harder, that could only serve to help Sadius, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. Distract them.
insofar as it's an error, it would be connected to his inability to pay attention to the fact that the bridges have been retreating while Sadius
Yeah.
struggles.
I agree, and also just the commander kind of things that need to happen on the battlefield do not occur when he's basically out doing this sort of bloodlust stuff, which is like, I don't know if that's actually a good way for us to be doing this, everybody. Yes, I think having a shard plate commander, that they're safer in their army, their armor, so they can they can survive longer and they can strategize. Cool, I want that. But I think the slaughter and things like that should be done by, I suppose, lower people. There should be some sort of strategist rather than the actual leader doing all the crazy raging killing, because you need a brain behind this battle. And it seems like with something like the thrill, it takes over and makes you do it's testosterone, okay? It
Yeah.
does all the
And
stuff,
adrenaline.
and yeah, and adrenaline, and it's making you feel invincible. It's I don't think that that's a really a good thing for us to be following all the time, guys. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'm a bit too feminine for this. Like, yeah, just maybe be a bit more controlled with the whole battle strategy thing. So they've
Yeah.
kind of they've built in a weakness through their culture by having their commanders be the most deadly
Hmm.
rather than the most strategically gifted.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they don't have strategy, because clearly they've planned all this, but on the battlefield, it this thrill can take you away from making good decisions or even
Yes.
noticing your ally falling.
Very much so. I completely agree. It is tunnel vision.
Hmm.
So as Dalinar is ordering the bridge crew into place, the Parshendi notice what's happening and they send some folks to fight Sadeas's men, and the bridgemen are hustling into place. And as they do so, just ahead, Sadeas's men broke. And that's kind of the first slight indication. You don't really get the scope of it, least of all, not
Hmm.
yet, that Sadeas's men might not be doing as well as one would hope.
Yeah, but he thinks, and that again, this thrill thing kind of gets him, like you said, that it's like, well, if he can't, he's if he can't gain on the enemy, don't worry, I will. As opposed to, what does it mean if Sadius is breaking?
Yeah. The bridge is placed, the men go through, and Dalinar starts fighting, and he brings his whole army across. He is all in.
I think it. What did you find it cool? His fighting, that it was just laying about, just absolute destruction. I mean, it. I did find it very cool, but then I was like, oh, I'm waiting for him to realize that it's not that cool actually, because you're killing people.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
was,
video game thrill came, and then I was like, no, 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 this is not a video game.
yeah, no, I was definitely expecting the thrill to break at some point,
Hmm.
or,
Mm.
yeah. And Dalinar absolutely embraces the thrill this go around.
Hmm.
He does have the thought, and I think it's an important thought because I'm kind of wondering if that is why Sadeas's forces struggled so hard,
Mm.
although there's no mention of it, and I feel like Dalinar might have noticed it. Where were the Parshendi shard bearers? He had seen that one in battle weeks ago. Why had he not reappeared? Would they commit so many men to the tower without sending a shard bearer? Good thought.
Yeah, that makes me think. Yes, it's either that's why Sadius is broken, or it's gonna get even worse, boys. The shard bearer is gonna appear.
Exactly. I do think that the Parshendi are hiding their power level.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they, with the whole Kaladin thing, I don't know, maybe they're wanting to ramp it up, because it's just like, these guys have gone too far. This is the end. We want to end it now.
Right. Dalinar continues to fight. The thrill surged more strongly through him, and he rammed his shoulder into a group of Parshendi, scattering them, then spun with his blade and cut down those too slow to get out of his way. He's chasing down Parshendi at this point. He's throwing stones at them, which is pretty cool sounding.
That they were throwing at him. That was a cool thing,
Yeah.
is that he got hit by one, so you can see his armor takes damage. Keep that in mind.
Hmm.
And then it's really cool the way that he climbed up and then drops the shard blade, right? Which is another kind of cool thing. You can drop it and then summon it at the top, which is
Yep.
essentially what he does. So yeah, he drops it and then he picks up all the rocks that they were going to throw at him, and he uses them. So it's crazy effective, but you're like, ooh, this is, and you see that he delights in it and all of that, and you're like, this is very cool, but wait,
We get glory spren.
yeah, glory spring, because he like screams, and yeah, the glory spring come up, and his men are shouting for joy as well.
Mm-hmm. He thinks on the years he spent with Gavilar and how good it feels to win again. We get he and Gavilar had created something during those years, a solidified, cohesive nation out of something fractured, like master potters reconstructing a fine ceramic that had been dropped. With a roar, Dalinar cut through the line of Parshendi to where the Cobalt Guard was fighting to catch up to him. And then he shouts to pass the word all companies up the side of the tower. He is fully committed.
Yeah, onward, let's go. Like maybe that would be a good time to look at what's going on. To the north,
Yeah.
Sadius's forces were stalled, so he knows that, but he's so yeah.
So that's the next line. To the north, Sadius's forces were stalled, while Dalinar's force would do the work for him. So if he weren't so hopped up on thrill right now, he might see that Sadius's army is perhaps
Mm-hmm.
struggling more
Yeah,
than his initial glance here, his thrill
yeah.
fueled glance indicates.
Yeah, it just he just goes stalled, and it's like, no, 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 think about it. And then his fuel thing is like, I'll do the work. Then we've got, if Dalinar could spear forward here, he could slice the Parshendi in half, then crush the northern side against Sadius and the southern side against the cliff edge. He's assuming Sadius is going to hold. Like that assumption is stupid. Like you're just assuming he's stalling. This is a problem. What do we do now? He's like, oh, well, it'll kind of help. But it's like, no, if there's nothing to crush them against, if Sadius is already gone, what do we do? Like, let's think about
Yeah.
this person who is better at battle than me. Um, but he doesn't, obviously. So it's just, I think he will survive it, and he will be able to notice that, oh, weakness of thrill.
Is Dalinar or Sadius? Because I wanted to ask you if you thought Sadius is dead.
I don't think Sadius is dead.
Okay. And we're both in
Not yet.
agreement Dalinar will survive this somehow.
Yeah.
The army surges forward.
We get a lot of rather really intense prose, like this was life, this was control,
Mm-hmm.
and more of the Gavilar stuff. It's like it's reaching a fever pitch here.
Very much so. Because we've had thrill fueled thoughts in the past, but this one, it's like
Mm.
really cranking it up to 11 here.
Mm-hmm.
Their opponents had surrendered to Gavilar's rule, but the Blackthorn, he was the man who had scattered them, the one who had dueled their leaders and slain their best shardbearers.
Yeah, so it's like he's really thinking of himself. I'm the Blackthorn and all of that. It's like the glory spren have gone to his head.
Yeah. And now we're going to have quite one hell of a conversation. He's chasing some
Mm-hmm.
Parshendi down, and we get the segment. The Parshendi rolled awkwardly, holding his arm, no doubt shattered as he was thrown down. He looked up at Dalinar, terrified, fear spren appearing around him. He was only a youth. So we'll get into it a little bit later regarding what happens to this youth. But,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I don't know if this is a hot take or not. I kind of feel like it shouldn't be a hot take. And for clarification, I acknowledge we don't know much about the Parshendi. We don't know how much they were involved in the assassination or why they were, or if they even were, or anything like that. I know that there will be mystery to come, and I
Mm-hmm.
expect it to be plot expansion-y. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're in Dalinar's POV,
Mm-hmm.
you know the things Dalinar knows, you don't know the things Dalinar doesn't know. If you're in a war with someone and your army is fighting their army, and their army includes a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old boy, the moment that boy picks up a weapon with intent to use, he ceases to be a boy and becomes an enemy combatant.
Yeah.
And you gotta do what you gotta do for your side.
Yeah.
And it's tragic, but
Yeah. But that's war.
yeah.
But then again, yeah. So then what are you supposed to do? Go, oh well, oh, so they're even sending their 12-year-olds. That's
It
them. They're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it could speak to the barbarity of the Parshendi. It could also speak to the desperation of the Parshendi.
Yes.
I did express that I thought that they were hiding their power level, and that may well be true, but this could also mean the opposite. They're running out of men to send to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other side of that coin is, oh, but they're so desperate they're using these young boys that that means that this war is really taking its toll and it's really really bad. It's like, yeah, but it's a war. It was really bad from the beginning.
Hmm.
Maybe we shouldn't have had it from the beginning. That kind of thinking obviously just, it just goes around and around and around.
Yeah.
So like he's just perceiving the true horror of what war is. This has been going on forever, okay? Like as in he this isn't the first young person he's killed. Actually,
Yeah.
this is not yeah, this is not new. The only thing that's new is he's perceiving it.
Yes. And the thrill kind of drains in not so many words. And Dalinar hesitates, and one of his other soldiers, comes in to kill the youth. And Dalinar actually does raise his hand in an attempt to stop his own soldier from killing the youth.
Mhm.
Again, what are you going to do at that point? Do you think that youth is just going to
We'll save this one.
get up and go home after that? No, he's going to get back up and fight again if he can.
Yeah. He's
Nevertheless,
scared.
Dalinar tries. Yeah, he is scared.
Yeah. Yeah. What about the fierce brain that spring up when the Bridgman run or something like that?
Hmm.
It's all horrible, all of it, and yeah, just oh now we stop, and now what? Yeah,
Yeah.
it maybe either way you do want this to make Dalinar go, okay, war bad, we need to have peace. You do want that conclusion to at least come from it, but yeah, in this moment there's nothing he can do because it's still an enemy.
Yeah. So Dalinar, coming down from his high, is looking over the battlefield. Sadius's forces on one side, his on the other. The Parshendi are still fighting. There are dead all around him, and he does that sort of stoic walk through the battlefield, looking sad while everyone around him fights moment.
Mm.
He's listening to the music as well, which I think suggests perhaps it's the music that is killing his thrill, although why would it affect only him and not the others?
Mm.
Counters that idea.
And maybe it's just that now the thrill's snapped. Essentially, he's perceiving things about his enemies,
Right.
humanizing them. So hearing the song is part of that. The song was going on the whole way, but he was
Yeah.
not paying attention to it. Yeah.
Yeah, now he's actually like listening to it, hearing it.
And the creepiest thing is that these are people, and people, I say people as in humanoid, they are dying, but they carry on singing. That's creepy and sad and scary.
Yeah. And he thinks about the codes and not asking someone to do something you yourself would not do. And I
Mhm.
believe he essentially thinks this because that other soldier killed the youth and it was something he wasn't willing to do. But it's
Yes.
like, I mean, first off, frankly, you should have been willing to do it. Second off,
Mhm.
because this is war. Second off, you hesitated. That's fine. People hesitate all the time, and you did try to stop him. So if you're going to play that game, I save it for after the battle and then
Mhm.
reevaluate if you have to.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like, look, yeah, cool. You don't have to have the thrill anymore, but you're still in battle. You can't have a moral crisis right now. You really cannot, because everybody has been on a certain page, and
Mhm.
your men are literally on that page, and you can't just now suddenly withdraw. That's also men's lives there.
Yeah. He thinks to himself, but they killed Gavilar, which is a totally valid reason to go to war. Hot take, if they kill your king, you're allowed to go to war over it. Sorry, not sorry. Then he thinks unite them, and he finally has the thought we have proposed at one point or another, that unite them included the Parshendi, which is likely what Gavilar was experiencing when he changed and when he tried to bring the Parshendi into the fold.
Yeah.
Possibly. He tells himself that he doesn't know if he can trust the visions or not. It could be the Night Watcher or the Voidbringers, but the visions have only told him to do good things, so he should judge the visions based on that criteria. If they're telling him to be honorable, that is a good end, and therefore the visions may well be good. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Just keep evaluating them the whole way. I understand that you could get carried away and suddenly just have a completely moral, like a moral bend that was slowly, brought about by the visions. But yeah, just looking at them like, yeah, unity is pretty good, I would say. Yeah, unity versus war. Which one would we prefer? Like think about that. And it is what Gavilar was doing. So hello.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, as he's freaking out, he doesn't know what's happening to him. Adolin runs up, frantic. Adolin points out to Dalinar, who should have been paying attention, that the Parshendi are coming in with another army. And it's alarming to Dalinar because he had allocated forces to alert him in case of that event occurring. And the scouts are gone. He turns and looks, and Sadeas's army was retreating across the chasm to the northern staging plateau. Half of it was across already. The 8 groups of bridgemen he'd lent Dalinar had pulled back and were gone. That's the big why that? Sadeas was abandoning Dalinar and his troops, leaving them surrounded on 3 sides by Parshendi, alone on the shattered plains, and he was taking all of his bridges with him. That's it. That's the all. That is like, oh my
Yeah.
god, betrayal.
Yes. When you get to that, you're like, and he was taking all of his bridges with him. It's like not even like these are disposable already. So why not take the bridges with you? Like why not leave bridges to him? That's weird.
Yeah,
That is something that's like, huh?
it would cost him 1 bridge to
Mm.
leave 1 bridge. And I'm sure you can make more. You control the
Yeah.
forests, my dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's I just know how disposable these guys are to him. So it just doesn't make sense that like that's the point that just makes you go, I have questions. Why would you take all of them? And if you go, oh no, I just wanted to protect the bridge crews, like it was really horrible. Yeah, you had already lent those 8 to me. That was already there. Why? What is the or is it Kaladin making the bridge crews run? They're not staying. They refuse the
I
order to
don't think
stay.
he has that authority.
Yeah. He doesn't have the authority, but I'm saying like convincing them somehow, like with a speech or some shit.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't think they would even be allowed to retreat with them if they were ordered to stay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know how they're gonna get out of it. Maybe Kaladin
Mhm.
is gonna stay and risk his bridgemen for Dalinar and his men. It's
But
hard to
why?
imagine. Yeah, exactly. But why? He's not exactly a fan of Dalinar.
Yeah.
It could be that the previous epigraph with the 2 dead men with the gem heart could be in reference to Dalinar and Adolin. We had
Mhm.
supposed it was Dalinar and Kaladin, but it could be those 2, and it could
Mhm.
just be that they, turtle up, create a phalanx,
Mhm.
and tough it out long enough that the Parshendi get tired. But I kind of doubt that that's gonna happen.
Mm.
I don't know.
I cannot wait to read on.
Me too.
Why can't we just have this one continuous chapter of the whole battle? Uh,
Right?
mm.
We're getting close. We have some blind blinds coming up as well. 67, 69,
Oh my gosh,
70,
60.
71.
66 looks like a short chapter or shortish. It's basically as short as this one. I want
Well,
it to be very long because so more happens.
yeah, I guess that's what happens at the end of a Sanderson book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. I am hyped.
Mm-hmm. Thrilled even.
Anything else to say?
Like the video.
If you like. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week. Subscribe to That Darn Kita if you get a chance, because she's got a great channel.
You know what's a great channel? This one! Subscribe to it. Now.
It would be tremendously helpful. And we'll see you next time. Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.